Welcome to the Dreamifesting Masterclass, where I'm celebrating the launch of my new book, Dreamifesting, by bringing you into my living room, where I have in-depth conversations with a few of my friends, authors and experts on the subject of dreams and manifesting. In this series, you'll learn behind-the-scenes secrets to lucid dreaming, dream embodiment, dream incubation, and how to deepen and grow your intuitive and psychic gifts. I'm so glad you're here. Welcome. Welcome to today's Dreamifesting Masterclass. I'm so excited to talk with Timothy Schultz, who I'm sure you already know who he is. He is an amazing guy who is such an inspiration. He is a YouTuber, influencer, and the dynamic host of the popular podcast, Lottery, Dreams, and Fortune. In 1999, he experienced a life-altering event by winning the Powerball lottery in the US. Following his win, Timothy returned to college to study journalism and broadcast news, delving into various media productions. His unique journey has led him to meet and interview fellow lottery winners and individuals who've defied incredible odds, as well as metaphysical experts who explored luck and mindset. He's a very deeply spiritual person, and he had a very vivid dream, which is how we connected, about him winning the lottery just 3 months before it became a reality. So we're going to talk more about this profound experience that took his power of intuition and dreams to the next level. So without further ado, welcome Timothy Schultz.
Thank you so
joining
much.
today.
Yeah, thank you, Kelly. Thank you for having me. It's great
It's
to be here.
always such a blessing to be with you, Timothy. So most people who will watch this or listen to this have heard some of your story, but for those who are new to you, give a little bit of background about like the 12-step version, what it was like, what happened, and what it's like now. That little arc.
Well, I'll keep it kind of short, but it's one of the most profound, life-changing things that has happened to me. When I was 21 years old, I won the Powerball jackpot in the United States, and it was a 28 million jackpot. And I was working at a gas station at the time for 40 to 60 hours a week, sometimes even overnight shifts, and was
Wow.
very, very driven to try to make as much money as I could. Not that it was a lot of money, but anything over 40 hours was time and a half. And I had all these side gig hustles with a vending machine I wanted to have and a photo booth and all these things. Like, I was
Wow.
very driven, but I worked quite a bit. But I was, this particular night when I had this dream about winning the lottery, I was really feeling sort of down, and I was feeling just really depressed and just looking for some hope and guidance from this greater force that I strongly believe in, whether you call that God or the universe or whatever word, the quantum, whatever word terminology you use for that. But I have always believed in this. And so I had had other dreams before this that had come true, but this particular one, I laid down on this air mattress. I was living in this efficiency apartment, which is pretty much one big room, the bathroom, the kitchen, and everything was in there. And there was this air mattress I was sleeping on. And I went to sleep with the intention of just not of winning, having a dream about the lottery, but the intention of in this meditative state of getting some hope, some direction, because I just felt so hopeless, and I felt so
Mm.
just like I just was looking for something to help me. I thought there should be more than this happening in my life. There has to be some sort of hope. And so went into this deep meditative state where I felt this sense of, going this sounds kinda crazy if you've never experienced this, but I have, quite a few times, and I know other people do too sometimes, where I felt as if I went out of my body and I experienced that I had already won the lottery. Like it had already happened. I didn't see numbers flashing, I didn't see an amount, I didn't see the game, but I experienced that I had already won, and it was so real and so vivid. Like, I woke up and it took a little bit to understand that it had not happened. It was
Wow.
really that real for me, and so from that point forward, I think I went out the next day and started I mean, as soon as I could, I bought a lottery ticket, and I didn't win that next day, and in fact, it was about 3 months later that it did happen, and I played consistently after that dream because I believed strongly that it was going to happen because the dream was so real, and I told people that I was going to win, um, and then when I did, it was really surreal then when when it really did happen in this, reality. It was just it was very surreal. So that's the abbreviated version.
Yeah, that's the abbreviated version, but, and the more lengthy version is in the book Dreamifesting, which I'm excited about, and hopefully you'll be getting your copy. My publisher, I believe, sent you one. Hopefully you'll have it. But your story is so incredible, and particularly several things. One is that things weren't going great before this. So I think this is a getting in place for a lot of people. Some of the best of times come on the heels of maybe the worst of times or just kind of like an annoying time or a difficult time. So I love that for anybody who's watching or listening. If you're going through a rough moment, that doesn't define you. That's not the end of your story. That might just be the beginning of your story or the middle, but there's a next act. But I love what you did. You went into a meditation kind of thing before you went to sleep. So you were so let's break down that meditation a little because I'm having a hunch that there's a bit of dreamifesting meditation in there. What was happening in the meditation that led you into sleep?
Well, at the time, I was only 21 years old, and I didn't know, what meditation even was. I had no
Mhm.
idea, so it wasn't like I was intentionally trying to meditate per
Right,
se, but
right.
what I did do and what I had done prior to this was I would lay down and just relax, kinda separate my conscious mind. I didn't even know what an ego was, but
Mm,
separate my ego and my conscious mind from all of these, from everything, and just sort of let go and know that I would be shown some sort of answer, not necessarily knowing what that I was going to be shown the lottery or anything else, but just knowing that I would be shown, or that was my intention, and that's what I was seeking at least. And so I relaxed all of my body from my toes to my head to everything and just sort of laid there, and then I had this sense of vibration sense of going outside of myself, still in myself. It's hard to describe if you haven't
mhm, mhm.
experienced this, but and then that is when I experienced that I had already won. And so the first thing um, well, I'm jumping to the what the dream was, but
Well, what
that
was that's okay. That's okay because there's an overlap between those thoughts that you're those meditative thoughts and then it handing the baton over to a dream.
yeah. So I when I was within it, I felt like the first thing that popped up into my head was that I should pay off my debt, and it was just the exhilaration of having
You're so
the
practical. It
yeah, the
wasn't the red Ferrari, it was, "Let me pay off my
no,
debt first. Let
no,
me
in
be a
my
good, responsible guy."
yeah, in my vehicle, I had a loan for a vehicle, and it was just that weight was lifted. It was like the excitement and the liberation and
And this is
the
in the dream. that
Yeah,
that
yeah,
liberation was happening, like, I'm
because
paying off my debt, paying off my
yeah,
car
'cause
loan.
'cause I knew I had already won, and it was just, like, extraordinary. It's like, "Oh my god." I mean, how would you feel if you won the lottery tomorrow? Just imagine that, because that's how it felt. It's just like, "Oh my gosh, this just happened. What am I gonna do? There's all these things I could do," and the first thing that popped up was pay off my debt 'cause it's such a burden, on me mentally, so
So this is okay, so breaking this down a little bit, since this is within the auspices of the Dreamifesting Masterclass, I really want people to get how to do this. It may not be their destiny to win the actual lottery, but there's other lotteries one can win. And the one of the main elements of Dreamifesting is exactly what you did without having known at all what this process was, but it's a bedtime meditation, really, that is a calming meditation, and then it's asking the question, and sometimes the more pain, the more clarity. If there's an actual ache, we can say, "I" like God, universe, angels, Jesus, grandma, whoever is out there that help me fix this, help me soothe this, help me, show me what I'm missing, show me there's got to be more than this. Show me. And then fall asleep in that place of kind of handing over the baton. And sometimes I would say, what this is a little additional piece I tell people is, imagine that thing that you think you want. Like, you might not, did you even know that it was the lottery that you wanted? Or did you just know that you wanted something better? You wanted some change?
yeah, it was just a change. I felt like I was destined for something much greater. Like I felt like there's has to be something better than this. I'm destined for something greater. It wasn't the lottery.
Great, great. So it happened to be what showed up in your dream was the lottery, but it could have been just this beautiful love relationship. It could have been this vibrant health. It could have been this great idea for a company, or a new way to be able to heal something that was difficult in your life. I mean, either way. So I always tell people, think about the thing that you really want to have, like the low-hanging fruit of what you want,
Mm.
and then just go underneath that, imagining that you already have that thing and feel it. So you did this in the dream, and sometimes we can actually do this in the dream. Not always, but even if it's just like we control our controllables. There's some things that aren't under our control, and that's a good thing. If we were under control, if we had complete control, we'd forget to breathe and we wouldn't be here. So, but to feel the energy of already winning the lottery, and that's just something that we can all imagine. We all have an imagination. If we're watching, we have mirror neurons. We can look at Timothy Schultz and just kind of map ourselves onto the 21-year-old version of him that was just a few years ago. And we can just imagine that we got it. And then feel that feeling of elation and relief and awe. And, like dropping the weight of the world off your shoulders and just being relaxed, and I would dare say, entering into a state that is just your natural self. It's you minus the stress, you minus the worry. It's who you've been all along. It's not different than you. It's just you minus all the crap. Okay, so how is that part resonating? Because this is kind of a blend of what you did and kind of what I do. Is there
Yeah, that makes complete sense to me. I mean, it's in retrospect and knowing what I know now. I mean, one of the things I definitely did was drop the resistance. There was no resistance there. There was no focus
bam.
on all of the reasons why I can't do something. It was just seeking an answer of what I can. It was asking for an answer and then receiving one.
So
So,
you just said something very important that I want people to really, really hear. And I think this is what shows up inside of most manifesting conversations. There's this awareness of where I am now, which most of us feel like, well, this place kind of sucks. And then there's the where I wish I was, which is like better. Things would be better over there. And then what typically shows up is a resistance between here and there, or a feeling bad about oneself, because I'll be fine if I get all of those things over there. But in the meantime, this is kind of a shitty place to be. And there's a denying of the 500 billion trillion miracles that are happening to keep you afloat, to breathe your body, to circulate your blood, to keep you on the planet, to have the things that are going well, going well. And it's as if you're denying all of those things, and you step into, like, I like to call it a Veruca Salt from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Like, I want the pony. I want it now. I don't care, Daddy, that I already have a mansion. I want that pony. I want that squirrel. And everything's about what we don't have. And that is a state of resistance, which tends to keep us hungry and pushing away the very thing we need. Does that make sense?
Yeah, yeah, I think the resistance, I mean, and that's what a lot of people do. I mean, the grass is always greener is a way to see the world, but if you can change it in a different way, and if you're intentionally trying to, whether you want to use the word manifesting or not, a lot of people listening or watching this probably do. If you're trying to create something, it's important to become that before you become that, if that makes sense in a way.
It makes all the sense in the world. That's the whole gig. I mean, the subconscious mind is set up to reject anything different than what we are, because it operates by the MO, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So if you're breathing and you're existing, the subconscious mind is patting itself on the back saying, I've done my job. And our subconscious is 88% of our mind's power. So our subconscious doesn't want to change. But if you get into the vibe and get into the mode of imagining that you already have the thing that you're wanting, and it's not blowing your circuits, it's not making you go crazy, it's not causing the world to stop spinning, you can handle it, then your subconscious mind isn't going to be against you. It kind of goes, oh, and your subconscious mind can't discern between that which is real and that which is vividly imagined. So your subconscious mind is like, oh, he's won the lottery. And look at him. He's doing well. He's fine. This isn't a threat. This isn't scary. Okay. Let's let's support this. So then you did something else that was very important. Within the space of having that dream and actually winning the lottery, there were 3 months that went by in which you could have lost all faith, you could have lost all hope, you could have spiraled, you could have said, "What a cruel joke. The universe gave me this wonderful dream and is making a fool out of me." But no, you didn't do those things. What did you do?
Yeah, I mean, every time I played and did not win, which of course happened, well, I won maybe $2, $5, $10 if I'm lucky, but all those times that I didn't win, it wasn't like I just thought that it wasn't going to, I never thought it's not going to happen. I did think, I still believed it was going to happen because the dream was so real. And I had had other dreams prior to that that had come true that were similar about other topics. And so I believed that it was going to. And so I told people, I would, tell people, I have the winning ticket. I'm going to win. And I did this the day that I won as well. But I never thought that, I never questioned whether it was going to happen. And most people watching or listening to this probably don't necessarily think it's a coincidence. But for anyone that does, I completely respect that. But for me, I'm just being authentic. And that's what happened. I believed that it was. And then, so when it did, it was very, very surreal.
So this is something that I want everyone to hear, that for any positive dream, any dream of flying or falling in love or winning the lottery or even hanging out with Jesus or whatever makes you feel like, oh, and then you wake up from that dream. I hope from here on out you'll never say it was just a dream. Oh man, and then I woke up and it was just a dream. mean, Einstein had a dream just like yours, Timothy, that was that high voltage, high power dream that he dipped into throughout his life. He had the dream when he was 13 years old that he was sledding through the Alps, going so fast he broke the sound barrier and entered this exalted state of knowing everything. And he could have woken up from that dream and said, "Oh, it was just a dream." But no, he meditated on that feeling throughout his career, throughout his life, and that's where he said that he derived his best ideas, his greatest insights. Whenever he was stuck, he would go back. And I would dare say we all have at least one of those dreams in our lifetime that where we where we fly, even if we simply have a dream of flying, or we simply have a dream of swimming underwater and not and being able to breathe underwater, or seeing a dolphin in a dream. I mean, everybody has had some positive dream. That dream doesn't have to be over just because you woke up. That dream is the attempt to create a new neural pathway. And I hear your doggy, and I have a doggy back here too. So our doggies say hi. Doggies are welcome.
Okay. Yeah, sorry about that.
No, no,
We do
no, but
do yeah,
it's
go
true.
ahead.
So do you find yourself ever meditating? Like even just today, you said, you asked me and my viewers or listeners, like, how would you feel if you won the lottery? So every time you talk about this story, which is pretty often because you do this show called Lottery Dreams and Fortune, so you get to revisit your dream often, but do you let yourself feel the surge of remembering that feeling tone that was in your dream, that initial dream?
For the lottery or just for anything?
No, for anything, just like
Oh, yeah,
yeah,
absolutely. And now what I know, I mean, I've learned so much from meeting and interviewing just incredibly inspirational people like yourself, Kelly, because you've been on the show before, and several
I love
other
being on your show. Thank you so much. I'm
yeah,
so
no,
honored. Such a
yeah, no, thank
great
you.
show. You're such a wonderful host, Timothy.
Oh, and you as well. No, thank you.
Thank
But
you.
and it's tons of course, other lottery winners that have also dreamt about it. And from what I've learned, I've really I've dove deep into this stuff, and now I do meditate. There's all kinds of meditations I do, and I, of course, now I've learned, the state akin to sleep before you go to sleep or right after you wake up and you're not fully awake. I do this almost every day where
Mm,
in addition to praying, because I really believe in God, or whether you call it God or you call it the universe or your higher self or the quantum field, but I'm like a firm believer in this. And so I pray, but then I also, in addition, I'll say, um, I am this, I am that. And I do it
mm,
enough times where
mm,
I, consistently, and
mm,
then I start to believe that. And then it does come into my dreams, and then it comes into my life. And I found
mm.
this, and it's quite astonishing to me. It's like, and it gets into your subconscious. But I think
So
it's
let's
more than that. I mean, I don't know your opinion, but I think sometimes it's even more than that because it taps into something
mm.
greater than just our subconscious. But our subconscious is pretty extraordinary. And I just met someone the other day that believes that our brain is a filter and that we're connected to something much greater. And he's had a near-death experience and studies brains. So I don't know what your opinion is, but it's fascinating.
It feels like this I am kind of meditation that you do it's very much a bridge that is connecting you with whatever that is perhaps like the next iteration of you. I mean, I talk to Daryl Anka quite a bit, and we always talk about, and he's the one who channels Bashar, and we often talk about this dream that he had where he was really wanting to communicate with Bashar, to see him physically, like, to have him present himself to him. He'd been hearing him auditorily for years and years, and he was like, "Well, why don't you just show up?" And then he falls asleep and has a dream that Bashar does show up for him, and as he's walking down the street toward him, Daryl loses his mind, he loses his identity, he becomes so overwhelmed by the light, he can't handle it, so he hears himself say, "Oh, now I get why you don't present yourself to me physically. I
Hmm.
can't handle it. It's more like I would lose myself if you did, so now I've got work to do." The work is to build a bridge between here and there so that the next time you show yourself to me, I'll be able to say, "Oh, hey, there you are," because my vibration will have changed. So it seems
Hmm.
like what you're doing with this I am work is building a bridge between here and there so that your next iteration, your higher self, can easily walk across that bridge towards you without it completely frying your circuits, which would be harmful, which would be painful. So practicing that I am. So can you give us a like break it down a little bit? So you're laying in bed, you're about to go to sleep, and here you go. Or in the moments you wake up in the morning, either way, it's both sides of the dream sandwich. You're tell break it
Yeah. Well, one thing I consistently say is, well, I'm really into gratitude as well. And, I say thank you for um, making sure I'm entertaining and inspiring millions of people in positive ways because I'm passionate about that. And I say that every day and I believe that and I feel that and I do that pretty consistently. But I was saying that before I started doing that. And, another thing, it's like just I am I say I am a YouTuber with millions of subscribers or a podcaster with millions of listeners, and I believe and I know that I will get to that level because I feel like I am that level. But I
yeah.
didn't always feel that way, and when I started saying that, it felt different. And you used the word vibe. The vibe changed, and it's not just with that. It's like when I started the YouTube channel, for example, I had zero subscribers like everybody else, and it's very hard, difficult, at least for me and for most people, to go from 0 to 1,000. But even when I was around 1,000, I envisioned and pictured and felt 100,000. And so then when I got to 100,000, it was like it wasn't a big, it was, of course, I was happy and celebrated, but it wasn't like a big thing because I was already there in my mind. So that's what I feel like. Does that make sense?
That makes so much sense, and that is a big deal, that is quite an accomplishment, but it didn't fry your circuits, it didn't hurt you. I mean, it seems like what the universe is wanting for us is exactly what we want. The universe wants for us what we want, but we're the ones that make it difficult. We get it we're in the way. And as a hypnotherapist, that's part of my job is to help people get out of their own way. It's not to conjure something that is out of this world. It's to allow what is in this world with their name on it to come to them naturally and effortlessly because there's no blocks. So what you're doing in that I am is kind of elevating yourself to that. It's like a light bulb, like you're turning on, you're adjusting to a higher wattage bulb and and it's not hurting your eyes. You're getting comfortable with it. So why wouldn't you have more than that? And that's wonderful. So that is you are like the poster child of dreamifesting. I know I've told you this
Oh,
before.
oh, thanks.
But then
And oh, go
yeah,
ahead.
keep going. No, no, no.
Oh, I was just gonna say, and when you do that, at least for me, I mean, it really does. I want to emphasize how much it feels different,
Mhm.
and because I think that's really important. It feels different when you declare and say, "I am this" or "I am that," and then you're feeling that. If you really don't believe that you are X, Y, or Z, and you say that, and then you start, I mean, it just shifts how you feel about it. And the more I learn about quantum physics and all this other stuff, the more you learn about frequency and how everything is really vibrating. I mean, it makes sense that it's just fascinating that you're actually shifting that sort of thing. But it's interesting.
Yeah, it is interesting. But then we can't keep talking about this much longer until we get to the part where you also rocked it, which is you bought lottery tickets, you kept showing up, you kept doing the consistent action that aligned with what your dream was showing you. Even when it didn't happen immediately, you kept showing up. So talk about that.
Yeah, I think inspired action is so important. I mean, taking the action, because with anything you want to achieve, including the lottery, you can't win the lottery. Always play responsibly if you play, but you can't, win without a ticket. So you have to at least take the action for that. So
Right.
every time I played and didn't win, which was fairly consistently for 3 months, at least a significant prize, I still felt like it was going to happen. I just didn't know when.
There you go. You know it's going to happen, you just didn't know when. And then on the day of, so tell us about the day of. Was it just like any other day, or was there any special energy happening around you that day?
Well, the day of, there were all kinds of pretty crazy synchronicities. I mentioned earlier that I told people, of course, that I was going to win, and I was waving around the ticket. But I also, that night after I got off work, I went and met with some friends, and they were playing this card game, and we were just hanging out with some of my friends and playing this color coded card game. And I am partially colorblind. I can't see certain shades of magenta, and
Oh,
it's like the purple range around there. That's what I'm told. And certain colors I
mhm.
can't see, and so I it's like a guessing game. Like you're trying to match things like memory sort of. And so I kept guessing and not knowing what I was really doing. I just felt very lucky in the moment, and I won almost every single game.
Wow.
And I kept telling people when we were playing, "Oh, this is just the start of it. I have the winning Powerball ticket in my pocket." And then when I woke up the next day, then after doing all of this, telling all these people, having this lucky streak with cards, feeling very, very lucky, then I woke up to having learned that I had sold the winning ticket because I worked at the gas station. I sold it to myself. So I woke up to this news that I had sold the winning ticket, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, where is it?" And I was in this panic to find it, and I did, and it was all bunched up in a little ball, was curled up. I
Oh my
unraveled
God.
it and ran up. I was living in my parents' basement at that time. I had moved out of the efficiency apartment into my parents' basement, and so I ran up and compared the numbers to the newspaper, and they all matched, and it felt like I was in a movie.
Surreal.
Yes. Oh, it was,
So
yeah.
what did you do next besides scream and yell and laugh and cry and jump?
Well, yeah, I mean, it was just really, really surreal. It's like, what do you do? And so one of the first things we did, we called an attorney to figure out what to do, because I had no idea what to do. And nobody I knew either, because it's just, I mean, I didn't know anyone that had won a major prize like that from the lottery.
Was
But
he an
we,
attorney you already knew that you already
he,
had?
yeah, he was a family friend, so it was like
Okay.
someone we trusted.
Okay,
And
great.
and then we took it to a safety deposit box is what he suggested we do. So that's what we did. And even when I went in there, it felt like, uh, I mean, I immediately got kind of paranoid afterwards, because I was like,
Right.
here's this ticket worth millions. And,
It's
what if
so
someone in
flimsy.
here
It's just a little
knows?
piece of paper.
Yeah, and I was kinda looking around the rooms thinking, what if somebody knows? And it was really a crazy, crazy time. It really felt like I was living in a dream that I couldn't wake up from. Like, it felt like a dream.
Wow.
So,
Well, it
yeah.
was a continuation of a dream because we're always dreaming, and you just happened to line up the nighttime, the nocturnal dream with the waking dream, and your story is lottery history, and now you talk about this with other lottery winners. Did you ever end up talking to Shar Miller? Did she end up coming on the show? Not yet?
She has not appeared yet, but
Okay.
we've been corresponding, so
Okay.
I'm hopeful.
There's
She
an
said she's interested, so I hope so.
Okay, great. There's
Yeah.
an element of your story and hers that relate, I'm sure, many people, but there's this embodiment that she had before
Mm,
she won. So I won't say too much.
mhm. Yeah,
But
she is.
okay.
Yeah.
So any last words of wisdom before I set you free, Timothy?
Oh, well, I'd just like to say for anyone watching or listening to this that, you know, anything is truly possible. And I know this is might sound cliche and people say this all the time, but it's really, really true. It's like the story of my life. It's the story of so many people that I've met and interviewed. And like anything can happen, and it can happen literally overnight too. That doesn't mean you shouldn't take action steps and work towards something, but just everybody thinks everything is going to be in a straight line, and you think you're going to go off and maybe graduate, get married, do this and that. But the truth is, everything, life is like that, and anything is possible. Everything is possible, and your dreams can become reality, literally as well.
Literally as well. And there's so many more things that we could talk about, like becoming this winner and then how people treat you and what to do about all of that and how there's this syndrome. I guess we'll tease it and that'll be part of what we talk about next. But what is that called? That post something syndrome?
Sudden wealth syndrome.
Sudden wealth syndrome. All right, say a little teeny bit about that and then I'll let you go.
Yeah, well, it's definitely a real thing that I experienced, and a lot of people, would like to be afflicted by this sudden wealth syndrome,
Yeah,
but
not a
the
lot
truth,
of sympathy for people with sudden wealth syndrome, right? But
yeah,
it's legit.
yeah, no, it's a psychological term, and it just basically, and I didn't know what it was until after I felt that I was experiencing it, and I saw an interview with somebody, a psychologist, I think, that was describing it on a talk show, and it's like, well, that exactly fits me to a T, and it has to do with coming across sudden wealth and these constant, like these, how it affects you mentally. And for me, I felt guilty at times for even having one, because I couldn't help everybody that I wanted to in the way that I wanted to. And I felt sort of like an instant outlier because none of my family and friends, they didn't necessarily win. So I really felt like I was on an island or something. And so there's a lot of social and psychological changes that I know we could talk for an hour just about that, but it's
Right.
it's real for me at least, and for other winners I know, not everybody, but for some people.
Well, there's so many statistically, I don't know what the numbers are, but so many people who win the lottery end up right back where they were before they won the lottery because it's like they sort of sabotage the wealth away because it's kind of too much, too painful. People looking at them differently, being an outlier because we have such a deep fundamental need for connection and you can't. There's not, I mean, if you had billions of dollars, maybe you could do everything for everybody. But I know a couple of people that are multi. I know one billionaire who
Hmm.
takes care of the whole block, like the whole family and the family's friends, and takes care of them like for everything, every single thing they do. And he's still an enemy among those people because they always want more, and there's another person that will want more, and at some point, he's gonna die, and at some point, what else how are they gonna support themselves afterwards, and what I mean, like, it's never enough, and all of a sudden, you're not just a person, you're an ATM machine, and that feels soulless, and nobody wants that, and I know Oprah talked about how the boundaries that she had to set with people because, of course, she's a billionaire, she could do anything anybody asks, but is that what she wants to set up? Is that the dependency she wants to set up? You wanna give hand ups, not handouts. So there's a whole lot that goes along with that, that is part of this sudden wealth syndrome, and I would even say post-lottery syndrome, and thank God you and I this is one of the things I love about you, Timothy, is that you are a role model for how to overcome that and how to step into a very deep place of a spiritual path and a place of deep contribution and having a life that reflects like the inner lottery, with having a family and having the people around you that love you for you, and being able to eventually have it all, which is what sure looks like you've gotten. I know there's, things that go on, ups and downs, but does that feel accurate?
Yeah, no, thank you. Yeah, no, thank you for your kind words. And yeah, one thing that's been abundantly clear for me that I've learned is definitely that happiness comes from within, and it's not something that's external. And so winning the lottery is extraordinary. It's exhilarating, and it's just one of the most high of highs that you can experience for most people. But after that, after you come down to what is the new normal, it can still be incredibly positive in so many ways with quality of life and time and alleviating stress of debt and stuff. But at the end of the day, happiness really does come from within. And so I'm passionate about that because I just strongly believe that it's one thing that I've learned.
Right, right. Can't buy me love. Yeah, and you've got that. So I just celebrate you on your journey. I appreciate you so much, and thank you for being in the Dreamifesting book. So excited to have you in these pages and your story, and thank you for sharing that with me and with my readers, and for doing this Dreamifesting masterclass. And for people that want to find out about how you can get the Dreamifesting masterclass, because this video will live out here for free for a little while, but you can get it to keep on the Dreamifesting masterclass. And you can go to dreamifesting.com, and I have a launch special. If you buy one book, you get about $500 worth of additional bonus gifts. If you buy 3 books, you get up to $3,000 worth of bonus gifts, and that includes the Dreamifesting masterclass that has interviews with people like Timothy Schultz, Kelly Gaddis, who also won the lottery, Robert Moss, great dream teacher, Ariel Ford, Lisa Campion, some people in the mind, body, spirit manifesting world that teach their techniques for how they dream best and also how to manifest their best. And here's one shameless plug that I found it, like, one of the things that Timothy and I have in common. There's a few things we have in common, but one of them is that we value our dreams. A lot of people say they can't dream. One of the best ways to remember a dream is to go to sleep reading a book that is dream centric. And some people have told me that by reading, I mean, I'm getting emails from people now that my book's been out for a week, that their dreaming's off the charts as they read this book just a few pages a night before they go to sleep, and they're remembering their dreams. So your dreams are coded with what you need to know. So it's not about me, it's not about Timothy, it's not even about dreamifesting. It's about you, it's about your dreams, always helping to show you what's in your blind spot and how to propel more gracefully in the direction of your wildest dreams. So I hope this helps to elevate you. Timothy Schultz. Everybody go check out his podcast, Lottery Fortune. Wait, oh my gosh, Lottery Fortune and
Lottery.
Lottery Dreams and Fortune. How am I going to leave out the dreams? Lottery Dreams and Fortune on YouTube. Also, timothyschultz.com. Is that another website they can go to?
It's Timothy-Schultz.com. But yeah, you can do that, or
Schultz.com.
on, of course, Instagram and TikTok and all the places. But yeah, thank you.
And all the
So
places, it's like official Timothy Schultz, right? Or is there
it's
what's the best?
official Timothy Schultz on Instagram.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
All
TikTok.
right.
Yeah. Timothy
Well,
Schultz. But yeah.
all right. Until we meet again, Timothy, and thank you so much. And for everyone watching or listening, as you go forth, may you multiply the blessings. Don't take your dreams lying down, and may your best ones all come true. Go dreamifest your best. Sweet. You've been listening to the Dreamifesting Masterclass, hosted by me, author of Dreamifesting, Kelly Sullivan Walden. I hope you learned something today that will take the life of your dreams to the next level. Speaking of next level, if you haven't already picked up a copy of Dreamifesting, head on over to your favorite brick and mortar or online retailer to buy your copy today. Oh yes, and once you buy it, don't forget to leave a 5-star review, comment, and share about it with your friends. I hope you'll join me for the next Dreamifesting Live You can find out more about that at dreamifestinglive.com. That's dreamifesting with an I in the middle, DREAMIFESTING-live.com. Until we meet again, may you harness the power of your dreams to create the life you desire. Dream on.